Hi everyone, welcome back to FDG TV. I'm Mike Cook and I'm joined today by one of our keynote speakers for this year, Xalavier Nelson Jr. Thank you so much for joining us for a quick little chat. How is it going? How is your day going? How's the conference going?
The conference is amazing. I was a little bit afraid of what it would be like to be interacting primarily with academia because I'm most used to industry, but the environment is fantastic and the crew that has been assembled here, both in terms of speakers as well as audience, is amazing.
That's amazing to hear. Is this the first time that you've been at an academic conference?
It's not the first time I've been at an academic conference, but I think FDG is among the most storied conferences I've been at to date.
That's great. Did we get was that a clear version of that, or do we need to no, that was a joke. Anyway, I wondered if you could give us a quick recap of your keynote today, just like the quick summary for people who weren't able to catch it and haven't seen the recording yet.
The quick summary is that no one told me that I couldn't swear, so there were a couple of those. And the primary meat of the talk is a running theme which has crossed a lot of my communication these days, which is that the way that we approach our processes is broken in the video games medium. We are not intentionally aligning our processes with our stated values, with the humanity that we need to recognize in order for all of our collaborators to exist and survive on projects. So I talked about how Strange Scaffold attempts to do that in one form and how important it is for members of the audience to approach that challenge in their own daily lives, if only again for the sake of long-term survival, to be able to impact their chosen medium, art form, or academic institution.
And Strange Scaffold is your kind of label, your game development studio, right, that's running all of these different projects?
Yeah, I still work with a variety of studios outside of Strange Scaffold, but then I come back to the core development label where we have a number of teams running simultaneously to hopefully bring games that you could not make any other way into the world.
And I loved how you brought the connection into academia in the talk. I found that really powerful. It moved me to tears at one point, I will confess to you now. And one thing that I really liked was when you were talking about personal projects and about it matters to you to do things the way that is right for you. So the joke in your title about making 7 games at once, it's working for you. You found a way to make it work. And I think for a lot of the people in the audience, often we are trying to do difficult projects or different things. And do you have any kind of thoughts or advice for people who are maybe struggling to navigate the systems that they're in, trying to make something happen? Like, do you have faith that if you stick to that method of being true to yourself, like will it be okay? Or is there anything else that people can do to kind of find that space and find that peace with themselves, I guess?
I think the biggest thing, at least for me, particularly when I still walk into situations where I'm not operating in full alignment with my chosen processes or values or what have you, is just the idea that we need to come into that eyes wide open, both me and my team. So when I make a deal, more often than not these days, that isn't in alignment with what I'm doing or how I'm doing it, there is a goal behind it, and I'm coming in eyes wide open, and I do see a lot of pain that results from it is trivializing to call it a matter of perspective. But yeah, when I see people, especially friends in academia, struggle the most, it is because they're coming into, say, the struggles of their particular academic institution or some wider systemic issue, expecting it to go differently, expecting that the truth of their circumstances is not what it is. And yeah, I accept and that I am working within systems often that do not share my goals, values, or ideals. And because of that self-center, that centering of self, as well as that awareness of this environment that I'm operating within, I feel so much more agency, even if I, in truth, have no agency, than if I was to come in with hope, perhaps even with promises, and see that the system and structures that I'm within don't, in fact, create that space for me.
Thank you so much for this perspective. Before we wrap up, I wanted to ask you a couple of other quick questions. First of all, we've got a lot of educators in our audience. If there was one video game that you think should be on everyone's syllabus, that should be taught, which one would you pick?
Aside from a game that I've made.
Well, it can be a game you've made.
That would be more profitable if I said a game.
Yeah, we'll cut this bit out, don't worry.
If I was to name one game that should be on everyone's syllabus, I think one of the most important games that's ever been made is Neo Scavenger.
Oh, okay, yes, I'm familiar, yes.
Procedurally generated survival roguelike that is about deep intentionality and grappling with systems and with helplessness, and sometimes with unexpected moments of agency in desperate situations. It has so much to share in terms of its systems, in terms of its generation, but also in terms of the inherent narrative of attempting to exist in a hostile environment. Good life lessons there.
Yeah, that's a fantastic answer to that question. And of course, the last question, we ask this to every FDG TV interviewee. What is your favorite fact about the human body?
My favorite fact about the human body is that there is one organ that remembers its shape regardless of where it is inside of your body, and that's the small intestine. So, if the small intestine is removed, say during surgery, it will attempt to reform itself into its proper shape outside of your body, which is why the small intestine, if you ever look at like a video of surgery, like some people will do for fun, not me, but like some people, then you will see the small intestine attempt to reform itself outside of your body, and it's the only thing that has to be pinned because after it's been removed, because it will, try to go into its proper shape. It's just trying to be in the right shape. It's just trying to do its thing, man. Even if it's not in the right place, it's just trying to, it knows the job it's supposed to perform. And I respect that commitment.
And that's exactly the same commitment that you showed in your keynote today. And I just want to thank you again for that. That's what we call a segue. We're wrapping up. Thank you so much, Xalavier, again for coming with us today. And thank you for watching. We'll be back later.